Good morning, children. How are you? I, Purnima, welcome you to my English class. And children, once again, I'm going to continue with the same lesson. Right? Now, children, in today's lesson, lot of things you should be studying today, which is a bit typical. So you have to listen very carefully. Now I was doing with you clauses, and today we will be doing three type of clauses. Children, already I have in my previous video I have done adjective clauses, but once again I will revise. Okay, so children, in clauses what we are going to do, three type of clauses: adjective, adverb and noun clause. Right? Now one thing I should tell you, children, before starting this lesson, I should be telling you about what is a sentence, what is a phrase, and what is a clause. In very short, in very nutshell, I will be telling you, because I think twice I have revised with you all this thing. So once again I tell you, children, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which tells a complete meaning, that is a sentence. Okay, it's a part of a sentence, it's a group of words, and it has a complete sense or complete meaning. Now children, the other important thing which is very important for a sentence, that it always have a subject and at least one finite verb. I mean to say, children, it can have more than one finite verb. Okay, and children, it always starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or any punctuation mark. Now we will come to phrase. Phrase is what? Phrase again is a part of a sentence, and children, in phrase there is no subject and no finite verb. Okay, but it is a part of a sentence, and the meaning which it convey, it's not a incomplete sense, that it doesn't tell full meaning, it tells a partial meaning. Okay, not a complete meaning it tells. Now we will come to clause. The clause is our topic. What is a clause? Clause again is a part of sentence. Okay, and children, it's a group of words, it's a part of a sentence, and it's a group of words which has a subject or at least one finite verb. Okay, and then children, it tells a complete meaning, it has a complete sense. Now children, clause, the difference between phrase and clause is that phrase doesn't have subject, clause has subject. Phrase doesn't have finite verb, clause has finite verb. So this is the main difference. Now I was telling you that children, there are three types of clauses are there which I will be teaching you today: adjective clause and adverb clause and then noun clause. Now children, adjective clause, I have already discussed with you something about adjective clause yesterday, that adjective clause is that clause which does the work of an adjective in the sentence. Okay, and children, what is the work of an adjective? First of all, the work of an adjective is that it tells something about noun. So that clause also tells something about noun. So what is the major work of adjective clause in a sentence? The main work of adjective clause is it does the work of a noun. Now I will be giving you a few examples. Okay, that adjective clause is generally introduced in a sentence by the word who, whose, whom. Okay, which, that. Who, whose, whom, which, that. These are the words by which adjective clauses they are introduced in the sentences. Okay, very occasionally an adjective clause may also be introduced by as, when, where. Now children, sometimes the adjective clause is also used by when, where and as. Like, I have no respect for those people who don't keep their promises. Now children, who is describing which word? Who is describing the pronoun I. Pronoun is a subject. Okay, so here who don't keep their promise. Okay, who refers to the people, that means which people, I. So here children, who don't keep their promises is an adjective clause. Now, so sometime children, it describe the place also, like I clearly remember the place where some robbers attacked me. I clearly remember the place. Now children, place is a noun, and where some robbers attacked me, it is describing that place, so it is an adjective clause. Similarly, a suitable boy happens to be one of the best novels that have been recently published. A suitable boy happens to be one of the best novels that have been recently published. So children, here that refers to the novel, and novel is a noun, so this is an adjective clause. So what is adjective clause? Which describe the noun. Adjective clause actually does the work of an adjective, and being a clause, it should have subject, okay, and it should have finite verb, and subject can be children who, whose, whom, which, that. Okay, as, when, where can also be subject, but that it is used very less. Now children, few more characteristic of adjective clause. It should be placed as close as possibly to the noun. That means children, generally children, adjective comes before the noun, so adjective clause should also place before the noun which it describes. Therefore should be to place it next to the noun it describes. Now I am going to start with the adverb clause. Okay, now two sentences you have to look at. You have to look at two sentences. And which I am going to write on the board, students. Now children, I will be explaining adverb clause to you. Okay, now can you read the two sentences which I have written on the board, student? So one is, I will be here, then you can see the board. On his return home, Sunil found the house burgled. On his return home, Sunil found the house burgled. Now, now children, in this sentence, what is a verb here? What is a verb here? Found is the verb. Now children, what is an adverb? What is an adverb? So first of all, in a very layman language, I will be telling you, adverb is that verb which modifies verb, noun, or another adverb. That means it tells about verb, sometimes it tells about noun, and it also tells about another adverb. So that is the word which describes, which modifies verb, and sometimes another adverb is a adverb. So children, here the word found is a verb, and on his return home, Sunil found the house burgled. Burgled means some thief have entered in the house and the house was burgled. Okay, so children, on his return home, it is actually describing about the verb found. It is describing about the verb found. So this is an adverb. And children, since on his return home, it is not having any subject, it is not having any verb, not subject, not finite verb, so it is a adverb phrase. Now if you will read the second sentence, it is also describing about the verb found. When he returned home, Sunil found the house burgled. So children, when he returned home, okay, when he returned home, it is modified the verb found. When he returned home, it modified the verb found. So this whole sentence is a adverb clause, and it is having, children, you can see when is the subject here. No, sorry, he is a subject here, and return is a finite verb. So this part of a sentence is having a subject of its own, that is he, and it is having its own finite verb, that is return. So this is acting as a adverb clause. So children, adverb clause act as a what? It acts as an adverb. And what is an adverb? It describes, here it is describing the word adjective. Okay, so this is an adverb clause. And in the first sentence, the words which are underlined, it doesn't have phrase, it is a adverb phrase, because it is not having a children, it is not having a subject, it is not having a verb. Okay, it is not having a verb and finite verb, and it is not having a subject. So this is an adverbial phrase, and this is an adverbial clause because it is having a subject here and it is having a finite verb here. So this is an adverbial clause. Okay, now I will be telling some more example of adverbial clause, like he failed because of his carelessness. So again children, because of his carelessness is an adverb phrase because it is describing about the verb failed, and it is not having any subject and finite verb. So this is an adverb phrase. But if I will tell you he failed because he was careless, he failed because he was careless. So we are describing which word here? He failed. Why? Because he was careless. So children, here it is the stress is given on the verb fail. Fail is being described here. So and children, in this sentence you can see he failed because he was careless. Because he was careless will be underlined. Okay, and then you can see he is a subject here, and was careless, no, was is a finite verb here. So this is an adverbial clause. Okay, so now you understood the difference between adverbial clause and children adverbial phrase. Adverb clause describes children verb, sometimes it also describes noun and the adverb. Okay, so students, now is a time that you should know what is the definition of an adverb clause, and I have written that definition on the board. Children, you can see, and I think you should write it also. A clause that acts as an adverb in a sentence is called an adverb clause. A clause that acts as an adverb in a sentence is called an adverb clause. Right? Now, in case the train is late, we shall catch a taxi. So try to understand this. Okay. First of all, what is the children? That clause which is acting as a adverb in a sentence, that is an adverbial clause. Now we will read this example. In case the train is late, we shall catch a taxi. Now children, catch is in this sentence, catch is a verb here. And children, why they are catching the taxi? Okay, why they shall catch a taxi? If the train is late. So this, the line which is underlined is a part of a sentence. And you can see children here, the train is a subject and is the finite verb. Is finite verb. So, and children, it is telling, it is modifying the verb catch. It is modifying the verb catch. So in case the train is late, we shall catch a taxi. So here children, this is subject and this is finite verb. Okay, and it is modifying the verb catch. So this is a part of a sentence also. It is having a subject, it is having one finite verb. So what is this? This is an adverbial clause. This is an adverb clause. Now children, some important point related with adverb clause, and that you have to write it. I am going to tell you and you have to write it. Okay, like first point, an adverb clause always modify the verb. An adverb clause always modify the verb. Children, most of the verb tell action. Most of the verb tell action. So the adverb clause, since it modifies those verbs, it also tells about the actions. It also tells something about the action which is mentioned in the clause. Okay, which is mentioned in the clause. So my first point is related with adverb clause is that an adverb clause usually modify a verb. Okay, and since most of the verb denotes an action, the adverb clause tells something about the action mentioned in other clauses. Okay, my second point, the adverb clause, since children, what does the adverb do? It tells about the time, it tells about the place, it tells about the manner. Okay, so the same work is done by the adverb clause. Okay, the same work is done by the adverb clause. And what is that, children? It may tell the time, it tells about the place, it tells about the manner. Okay, manner of the action, that how the action has happened, what was the manner the action has happened. Now children, it may also tells about the cause, purpose or effect of the action. Okay, so here it is the purpose. Here you can see in this sentence adverb clause is related with purpose. So what does the children, what does the adverb clause tell us? It tells about the time of an action, place, manner of an action. Then children, it tells the cause, purpose or effect of the action. It may also compare and contrast the action. So 3 points I have told you, that it tells about times and place of an action or manner of an action. It tells about cause, purpose or effect of the action. It might tells about the compare or contrast of the action with any other action. So these are the 3 main important point of the adverb clause. Okay, and children, we can have adverb clause of time, we can have adverb clause of place, we can have adverb clause of manner, purpose, effect, condition, comparison and contrast. Okay, now children, this I will be telling you some of the words and you have to note it down. You have to note it down, some of the words which I will be telling, and this is very important. Okay, that adverb clause are introduced. Adverb clause are introduced by the following words. Okay, how they are introduced in a sentence, okay, that I will be telling you and you have to note it down. So first I am starting with the time. Children, when adverb clause of time is there, so children, nine adverbs I am telling. Okay, 9 important adverbs I am telling, and these adverb will be introducing, they will be introducing the adverb clause in a sentence. So first is time. My first adverb clause is a adverb clause of time, related with time, and children, by which word it is introduced? Time is adverb clause of time is introduced by the word first, when. Second, whenever. Whenever is a one word. Third, before. Fourth, after. Fifth, till, T-I-double-L. Sixth, since. Seventh, as soon as. Eighth, while, W-H-I-L-E. And ninth is as. Okay, so adverb of time is used by at least 9 word. When, whenever. First is when, whenever. Before, after, till, since, as soon as, while, as. Now children, we will come to the second adverb, that is adverb of place, and it is introduced by only 2 words, where and wherever. It is introduced only by 2 words, where and wherever. Now we will come to the third adverb. Okay, and that is effect or result or consequences. Effect or result or consequences. And children, it is introduced only by 2 sets of words. One is so that. Okay, 2 words are there, so that, and the other is such that. So children, adverb of effect or result or consequence will be introduced by so that or by such that. Now children, we will come to the fifth one, purpose, adverb of purpose, and it is introduced by 3 words. First is so that, second is that, and third is a new word, lest. Okay, L-E-S-T. Now we will come to the adverb of condition. I will be reading about the adverb of condition. Children, if and unless, only 2 words are there. Your adverb will be introduced when the adverb of condition will be there with the verb if and unless. Now children, contrast or concession. Contrast or concession. Now children, this adverb, it is used with the word through, T-H-R-O-U-G-H, T-H-R-O-U-G-H, through, although, A-L-T-H-O-U-G-H, yet, even if, even though. Even if, even though. Comparison, as. Okay, comparison is as, comma, T-H-A-N, than. T-H-A-N, than. Manner, as if. Manner is as if. Okay, so children, these are the few words which is telling you about adverb of, this is telling you about adverbial clause. Now children, I will come to you and tell you something about noun clause. I will be telling something about noun clause to you, and this is also an important, the third and the last clause which you should study. Now I will be telling you children about the third clause, and that is a noun clause. Okay, so first of all, what is a noun clause? Noun clause is that clause which does the work of a noun. Okay, I have written the definition also in the board. A clause, you can see, which acts as a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. Is called a noun clause. A clause which acts as a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. Children, that means, children, we are having noun phrase also, we also have a noun clause. So a clause which does or which acts the work of a noun is a noun clause. Now you can see children, he expected to pass. Okay, now children, here expected is a verb and to pass is a object of the verb. Okay, expected is a verb And to pass is an object of the verb. And what is the object of the verb? Noun or pronoun. So to pass is acting as a noun phrase because children, to pass doesn't have what? It doesn't have, student, neither it has subject nor it has any finite verb. So he expected to pass. Here to pass is acting as a noun phrase. Now you can see here, now we will read this sentence. Okay, he expected that he would pass. He expected that he would pass. Now children, here you can say that he expected that he would pass. Here you can say that, children, here this part of the sentence, that he would pass, is describing this verb. Expected is a verb and this part is describing a verb, and children, it is acting as the object of the verb. What is an object of the verb? It is a noun or pronoun. So this whole part is acting as a noun clause because, children, here he is a what? He is a subject and would here is a finite verb. Okay, so this whole that he would pass is a noun clause. Why it is a noun clause? Because, children, it is doing the work of a noun. And children, how it is doing the work of a noun? It is describing the verb expected. Okay, and it is acting as an object of the verb. So what is an object of the verb? Noun or pronoun which tells about noun or pronoun which comes after the verb, that is an object of the verb. So here it is noun which is coming after the verb expected. This is an object of a verb here, and this is a noun clause. Okay, so children, some important points I will be telling you about the noun clause. Okay, like a noun clause may usually act as a subject to a verb or a object to a verb. This is very important, children. Noun clause, either it will act as a subject of a verb or object of a verb or complement of a verb. Okay, and children, it may also act as an infinitive or a participle. Okay, this I have discussed what is infinitive or what is participle in my previous video. I have discussed in the lesson infinite verb. Okay, and children, a noun clause is often introduced by that. That mostly it is introduced by that. You can see the word here. That means it is introduced. That means it is starting with the word that. That he would pass. Here this whole sentence which is underlined is a what? Children, it is a noun clause and it is introduced. It is starting with the word that. So children, always remember that mostly in 80% cases that noun clause is always starting with the introductory verb that. So with that it would be starting. You can see it here. Now third point, it may be introduced by question word like why, what, how. Children, sometimes, not always that it is introduced by that. I told mostly in 90% cases, but sometimes it is also used by the word why, what, how. Why, what and how. Okay, like we wondered why nobody had turned up. We wondered why nobody had turned up. So children, here children, why. We wondered why nobody had turned up. So children, here the noun clause nobody had turned up, why nobody had turned up is starting with the word why. Okay. Children, sometimes it is also introduced by if or whether. Like they wanted to know if we had any objection. They wanted to know if we had any objection. So children, you can see here the noun clause if we had any objection is starting with the word if. Okay. So children, you have to now children, I told you about noun clause, I told you about adjective clause and adverb clause, and you have to do comparative studies. If you will compare all this thing, it will be more clear to you. And if you are having any doubt, we can discuss in the online classes. With this, I end my lesson today. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Okay, goodbye.